from WBBM TV. This is Chicago's news. 2 News at 6.
The sun, the source of life. But in a few terrible days, streaming heat from that blazing sun killed hundreds of helpless people.
A lot of them, you can't get them to come out their houses. And it's too hot to be in there. And once you go to sleep and overheat, you know you ain't gonna wake up.
Why did so many die? What lessons have we learned? Tonight, we examine one of the deadliest disasters in Chicago's history. In a 2 News special report, Chicago's heat wave, a week in crisis. Good evening, I'm Marianne Childers. In the next half hour, we'll learn how extreme heat happens and how to protect ourselves. An expert tells us why senior citizens are so at risk and how to safeguard them. And we'll warn you about some scam artists who take advantage of people suffering from the heat. But first, here's Bill Kurtis with the latest on the story.
Thank you, Marianne. Here is the latest. At least 457 deaths have been blamed so far on last week's heat wave. Officials of the Federal Centers for Disease Control are meeting and they have arrived to investigate. And the city has issued a heat watch as 90-degree weather is forecast for the first time since the crisis began.
Each day the sun would rise and the heat would set in, shimmering at ground level, scorching our city's skyline. At first it seemed like any other summer in Chicago. 97 degrees by Wednesday, and the kids had gotten to the fire hydrants. Thursday, and the heat began to get our attention. 106 degrees, a new record. And city services start to unravel.
I want that crew. I want a list of the crew in the buildings and where they're going to be dispatched.
The open hydrants cause water pressure to drop throughout the city, and 23 cooling centers are forced to close. Friday, another 100-degree day, but City Hall plays it cool. The mayor counsels common sense and tells all of Chicago what is becoming all too obvious.
It's hot. It's hot out there. We all walk out there. It's very, very, very hot.
The weekend, and Chicago's heat continues unabated. The heat is hard-baked now, no longer an amusement or a nuisance. It's a full-fledged killer. The bodies started coming Friday evening. By Saturday, the Cook County morgue was overflowing. Refrigerated trucks had to be brought in to store the dead. Workers averaged 13 autopsies an hour, and still, the bodies kept coming. By Monday, the city's worst fears had been realized. Death tolls soared, more than 117 on Monday alone. All told, more than 400 dead due to the heat.
We have to appeal to all the family members of seniors to call, go over there, see their mother or father or their aunt and uncle. That is a must.
The mayor's words provided little solace, and the questions at City Hall began to mount. Why had no formal emergency been declared by the health department? Why didn't the city use its catastrophe plan in place? And why weren't the police units put on overtime to reach out to seniors?
The loss of one life should outrage all of us. We should look at every level of support to see where service and care for the victims who died during this crisis could have been improved.
The mayor has already acted on his promise to improve city services.
Well, Mayor Daley today named 18 members to the Commission on Extreme Weather Conditions. The mayor says the commission will conduct case studies on those who died in the heat wave with the goal of preventing anything like this from happening again. The members of the commission include experts who care for senior citizens, police, and fire officials. One member is a meteorologist. Mayor Daley's also asked the commission to analyze the weather conditions, in particular what effect the heat index had on the tragedy. The commission will examine how the human body responds to the stress of extreme weather conditions and how other cities respond to heat emergencies. Finally, it will detail measures that must be taken to avoid heat that is fatal and fatal cold exposure. The commission is expected to report back to the mayor within 90 days.